about this team, I'm anxious for you guys to take a look at them and see what you think. Obviously, I feel real good about where we are. I don't want to be over optimistic, but I can't really say I'm cautiously optimistic. My only concern in terms of skill set, dribbling, passing, shooting, athleticism, long arms, quality of, that take away vision and passing lane, the being able to shoot, dribble, pass, and the lift. Most importantly, the quality of the depth that we have gives us an opportunity probably to get back to playing the way we've been accustomed to playing when we had our better teams. Just being able to go deep and play with energy for the full 40 minutes of the game, you need quality depth. And it's not that much different between a lot of our guys. And so I feel good that we're moving in the right direction. My biggest concern is not the talent, is that when you have 9 new players and you're trying to get them all on the same page within the system that we play. And what I've learned this particular year is that I've been spoiled a little bit because we've always had a lot of veterans returning to the last couple of years. I have 9 new guys and trying to integrate them and make sure they're on point and they're ready. But what gives me improves my optimism on what I potentially think we can be is because they have such great attitudes, such great work ethics. They seem to be really connected and they like each other. And, it's refreshing to see this many new guys seem to be buying in and challenging each other, as well as locked in on trying to learn the system. That's a little more complicated than I had remembered, because we've always had so many veterans returning that had a lot to do with teaching some of the newer guys how to adjust in our system. So I'm encouraged. I'm anxious for you guys to see, and I think you'll see a different feel, and I think you'll see us getting closer back to being what we've been when we've had our better teams.
How much was Jameer's return shot in the arm for you guys, in the sense of a guy who does understand the system and obviously is a great productive player?
Well, anytime you can bring a player back of his caliber with as many new guys as we have, it gives you a staple. It gives you someone for them to pattern themselves after, someone who is knowledgeable. But you must understand, Jameer's just his second year in our program. This is Taylor Bowen's second year in our program. Chandler is the old man in the group with this third year. And Walker didn't play very much, but as a freshman. But having Chandler and Taylor and Jameer back gives us a core of leadership that we kind of leaning on right now. Someone reminded me that the year that Devin Vassell was a freshman, he was the only freshman, the only newcomer to the team. We almost completely opposite is what we're doing now, is having less experience. But I think we can make up for that with the attitude, the desire, the connectivity, the camaraderie that seems to be developing, along with the enthusiasm that they approach every workout with. I mean, we do our conditioning in the sand at 6:30 in the morning, and it's been really exciting to see the enthusiasm that we have established. I actually had to back off a little bit. In fact, we kind of have done more teaching the last couple of days and took a little bit off their legs, so that, because they was working so hard, I wanted them to have fresh legs going into practice. I want you guys to, when you evaluate them yourselves, I want you guys to tell me what y'all think. Y'all been around seeing a lot of basketball. I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to coaching this bunch.
do you feel confident this group's going to be better at rim protection, keeping people out of lane, some of the things that you guys in recent seasons?
Well, two things. In fact, I was just talking to someone. We have 3 guys now that legitimate rim protectors. Malik Ewan, Alir Maluk, and Coach Taylor, he's a 30, 40-inch vertical. But one of the leading shot blockers probably has been A.J. Swinson. He's got a 7'2" wingspan, 39-inch vertical. He's a really athletic type guy. He loves to contest shots. So I feel better about that. The thing that keeps us from being challenged at the rim all the time is our gap protection, which I thought which we needed a little improvement on. And I think we've been emphasizing that. We haven't spent very much time on defense. We've talked a lot. They probably be the first time we have been able to devote time to defense. With the limited amount of time you practice in the spring, the summer, and coming into the year, it's hard to split up offense and defense. Then you don't give enough time to either one of them in order to make progress. So we spent most of our time on offense. We started trying to work on defense back in the spring and in the summer. But what we found is that we better off being proficient at one thing, and then once we get the 4-hour practices a day, then we can catch up with our defense. But being active in the gaps, and now we have legitimate rim protection with Malik and Alir and Taylor, I think that's going to be able to be very helpful to us, because we put so much pressure on the perimeter that you're going to get beat sometime off the dribble. We've elected to take away vision, push up on people, pick up 94 feet. And when you are that active, we deny the wings, we deny the elbows, we switch 1 through 5. And so that works for us on the defensive end, but some of the things you need to have is that great gap protection, great containment, and then rim protection. And when you avoid either one of those, sometimes you open yourself up for giving up high percentage shots. I think we have the potential to be much better in those areas this year.
Coach, what do you think the biggest strength of this team would be going in, whether that's offensive, defensive, even the effort like you're describing? What would you say is the biggest strength?
Well, I think you guys will see we're much better perimeter shooting teams. Perimeter shooting teams.
Biggest strength for this team to be?
Right now today, before practice really starts, I think the strength of this team going to be the quality of our depth. I just think that we have a lot of players that skill sets are kind of close with each other, and you look back in our years, we've had 9 different guys lead our team in scoring during those years when we were really, really on top of our game. And I think we have potential to do that. But more than anything else, being able to have a rotation where you can maintain the energy, the effort, the way we play. I've been playing guys, there were sometimes in the last couple of years, I've been playing guys 35, 36, sometimes 38 minutes in a game. And that's just not healthy the way we like to play. We're trying to push the ball down the court, get to our checkpoints, trying to flow into our offense. And then we picking up 94 feet. That's who we've been. That's how our system works. So those things have been challenging to do with not having the same quality of depth that allows you to sustain that. And I think we're back to the point where I feel like I have a rotation of guys that will allow us to fit our system.
How do you go about, you're a system-based basketball coach, always have been, you guys have been. This day and age where teams are flipping over year to year and you have 9 new players, do you dial back on being system-based, or how do you kind of navigate those waters?
Okay, system-based stuff is harder to teach, but it's much more effective. If we ran a whole lot of set plays down the court, and then when they take you out of your play and your play don't work, now all of a sudden you back to playing freelance. What we do is the way the game is moving internationally and at the highest level. So we've bought in to ball movement, ball reversal, moving the ball and making decisions in 0.5 seconds. The most challenging thing in our system is that every time the ball moves, you got 3 or 4 decisions to make in 0.5 seconds. You know, if here's a ball screen, is he slipping the ball screen? Do I have a kick ahead? Do I turn the screen down? Is the guy rotating from the weak side? He's rotating from the strong side? All those things are happening, and it's challenging to make the right decision when you got 3 decisions to make. That's the biggest challenge read and react offenses will have. But because we have the skill sets to fit the system that we're trying to run, I think it's going to be a transition that's not going to be as difficult for this particular talented team. In other words, I don't think we have anybody that people can back off of and say, let him shoot. I don't think we have that. I think we have guys that can attack the basket, guys can play mid-range, and guys who have long-range perimeter shots. And I'm very comfortable that we can throw the ball into the post and be a lot more productive. So like I said, I think we're back talent-wise. The biggest challenge for us is to take 9 new guys and integrate them into a system where everybody's comfortable. And I think we're getting better. I think we've picked up things fairly well, and I don't think that we're gonna have that much of a challenge. We're talking about the quality of our depth, and I think that's been our staple. You know, whenever we've been building programs, we had to understand most people, they have their 7 and 8 guys, and they feel like that gives them great opportunity to develop chemistry. Well, whenever you're taking over a program where you got to build up a little bit, sometimes you can't do like everybody else. You know, I'm not necessarily, my 7 might not necessarily be as where some people in our league. So we elected to come up with a different system that gives us the best opportunity to be successful. And I think we kind of gotten away from it, but I think we back in that area where we can, you can remember when Trent and Terrence and those guys, Phil Cope and all those guys were coming off the bench, you didn't see much different. Matter of fact, sometimes we got energized by the rotation guys, the 9 different guys leading your team in scoring. But also the flow burns, the diving, the deflections, the steals, the charges, the diving on the floor. You can do that when you're fresher. You know, sometimes when you're playing 6, 7 straight minutes, you know, you look for spots to rest, and that's not how we like to build our program. We like to try not to take any possessions off.
Coach, you've always preached the strength of the ACC. Just how much more difficult does it get knowing that you may have a cross-country road trip or 2 somewhere else?
You know, I don't worry about that kind of stuff. You know, any year you always got something you can complain about. You know what I mean? You got to play somebody, so you just go a few hours early or something. You know what I mean? We can manage that. I think that I'm encouraged by the fact that now our footprint is going to be expanded. So now we're going to have kids in California that maybe might be interested in coming east, and I think that's the uniqueness of what the ACC has done. Is Dallas is a great area to recruit. They got plenty of players in Texas, you know, and everybody know the LA area with all the AAU pros and the prep schools and junior colleges and the way high school ball is respected out in that area, man. I'm excited about being able to go out, see if we can go out there and find us, steal us one.
You mentioned some of the difficulties of having 9 new players and bringing them up to speed, but what excites you about these guys coming into the program?
Number one, their attitudes, their work ethic, and like Jameer was saying, this team has an unusual bond that's healthy, because now we're going to ask them, they can go out and challenge each other in practice and know that it's not anything personal, and that's what they encouraging each other to do. And so when you have that type of attitude in the work ethic, you assume that they're going to continue to keep getting better, and you're going to have the quality of depth when someone's not playing well, or someone's injured, or somebody's not feeling as well, whatever the case may be, that when you can bring another guy in that plays basically at the same level, that's You gonna speak, knucklehead? That's Christian Nitu. 6'11", 4'5", 5'4". We thought he was gonna strictly be a perimeter player, but he looks like he can give us some stuff inside as well. So we're excited about his potential. And we seem to have a lot of guys in his same mold that fit the way we want to play. You know, sometimes you find guys that are good players that really might not fit exactly how we want to play. And so that's why it's important that we recruit to your system where there's less stress on the players and less stress on us. And I think we've been able to do that throughout the whole roster that we've been able to develop.
Both the guys talked about pickup games over the summer and how that kind of helped them learn each other's game. How much easier is that made it on you having to not try to make these guys mesh and they kind of just did it naturally?
Well, once again, when you bring in quality people and who are serious about getting better, we've been very fortunate that we got the chemistry of guys who we feel that will fit together, will get along, will make the sacrifices that are important for each one. So I'm really excited about that potential.